How to be assertive. People can be one of three ways. They can be aggressive, passive, or assertive. Aggressive is dominating another person through intimidating tactics to get your own way by violating the other person's personal space and ignoring their boundaries. Passive is doing little to nothing to stand up for yourself and allowing others to push you around to get their own way and willingly giving up your desires so another person can have what they want and ignoring your own boundaries. Assertive is finding a way to stand up for your own needs, beliefs, and wants and protect your own boundaries while respecting the other person's needs, beliefs, wants, and boundaries. So let me read that again. Finding a way to stand up for your own needs, wants, and beliefs to protect your own boundaries while respecting the other person's needs, beliefs, wants, and boundaries. Now, assertive people are willing to defend themselves against aggression without being aggressive themselves. They know how to stand up to aggression with strength while respecting the other person's boundaries. Now, it's kind of tough to do, especially if you're not used to being able to do that. But when you're assertive, your own body language, your voice, your tone, and your words convey confidence and strength. So you're willing to stand firm in what you believe and what you want and you think is right, even if the other person is being aggressive with you. So in order to be assertive, you have to have the following things. You have to believe that you have a right to feel, believe, want, and need whatever it is that you need to convey. So the first place starts internally. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's you believing strongly that you have a right to what you want and need and think and have to say. If you don't believe that, you're going to have a really hard time being assertive, especially with aggressive people who are going to pressure you to back down and tell you that what you believe and what you want is not right. So you got to believe it first. Stand firm in it. Believe you have a right to say it, because if you doubt that you have a right to say it, that you shouldn't bring up your wants and needs in a relationship, that you're selfish, that you need to be quiet, that you shouldn't rock the boat, then you're not going to think that you should say it, and you're not going to say it with confidence. The next thing is know what you're going to say. When you are being assertive, you give thought to your words before you go speak. Think, how should I say this? How can I convey what I want and need? How can I say it in a way that accurately portrays what is going on with me? So you give thought to that. And then the next thing is be willing to risk disapproval and disagreement. You can't control how the other person reacts to what you're saying, what you're going to say, what you need, what you want, and that's not your responsibility. It is the other person's responsibility. But when you're assertive, you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk that the other person's going to get upset, that they're not going to understand, that they're going to say no, that there's going to be disagreement and maybe, a feeling of conflict or disharmony in the relationship, and you have to be willing to risk that. If you're not willing, then it's going to be very hard for you to be assertive. Now, how can you learn to be assertive if you have trouble with it? Well, the first thing is to identify the things that keep you from being assertive. Is it that you don't believe that you have a right to feel, believe, want the things that you do? Do you believe you don't have a right to say it? Do you have trouble speaking with confidence? Are you insecure? Do you have trouble expressing yourself? Is the person emotionally manipulative, overpowering? Do you have a fear of bringing up conflict and rocking the boat and causing problems in the relationship? You got to figure out what is preventing you from being assertive and work on it. Work on believing that your rights, needs, wants, and beliefs are just as valid as the other person, and that it is important that you bring these up in the relationship to make the relationship balanced and healthy. Then you want to practice being assertive in very safe situations first before you confront an aggressive person who's going to react very strongly to you, because that will make it even harder for you to be assertive. So you might maybe start in a very safe situation, like telling a close friend that you want to go to a different place for lunch than that person is bringing up, or a very safe friend that your feelings were hurt with something, or something just very simple. Start small and then recognize that you were able to do it and it was okay, and that those scary feelings went away pretty quickly, and that it actually felt pretty good, to be honest, and to have that person know what you wanted and to say yes. So pay attention to how it feels. If you really have trouble, you can actually role play being assertive. You can use a friend and say, pretend you're my husband, pretend you're my mom, and this is how my mom or my husband usually answers. And so when I say this, you say that, and then I'm going to practice coming back with a different response than I normally do in being assertive. That will help you make the words feel like they're more comfortable and more normal for you, and kind of give you an idea of what the person is going to say. Because we know people. We know somebody's personality. We know how they usually respond. We know the types of things that usually come up. So we can kind of go in prepared, having kind of an answer prepared beforehand for what this person is probably going to say, and that makes you feel much more confident. So you have a right to do the following things assertively. You have a right. Now, remember I said you have to believe that you have a right to say it? So this is what I think you have a right to do. Make requests, ask for your needs to be considered, express your opinion, and express your feelings in a relationship. You have a right in a relationship. If you have a relationship that tells you can't do those things, not a healthy relationship. You have a right to make requests. You have a right to ask that your needs be considered. You don't have a right to demand that they be met. The other person does not have to meet your needs, but you have a right to be able to ask that your needs be considered. You have a right to express your opinion about anything, whether somebody thinks it's dumb or unreasonable, doesn't matter. You have a right to express it, and you have a right to express your feelings. Feelings are not right or wrong. They're yours, just your feeling. Next, you have a right to tell someone what you do not like and what you do not want. I don't like that. I don't want that. You have a right to do that in any relationship about anything that you don't like or want. The next one is you have a right to say no, and you have a right to say yes. You have a right to approve or disapprove of anything that affects you in any relationship. So you can say yes and you can say no, and that needs to be respected. You have a right to ask for an explanation and more information anytime anybody does or says something that you need clarification on. So you have a right to assertively say, I need more information with that. I need you to explain blank. You have a right to that in a relationship. So I want you to use this model. Explain the problem or the situation clearly without pointing fingers at the other person. It's not you did wrong, you did this, you did that. It's this is what has happened, this is what's going on, this is what I need, this is what I want, here's what's going on with me, this is how I feel. That's being assertive. I feel these things. Express your feelings and concerns using I statements. I statements are simply the opposite of you statements. You messed up, you're bad, you did this, you caused this. That is a you statement, as you can imagine. That gets the person to be more defensive in response because it feels attacking and they want to defend themselves. So it's like, no, I didn't, no, I didn't, no, I didn't. So instead you say, I'm struggling with this. I'm having a problem. I didn't like when this happened. I felt this way when this situation came up. Here's what is going on with me. I need to have this done. I need this to be considered. Those are I statements. Offer a solution by explaining what can be done. Ask for what you want or need directly. Here's what you could do that would help me with this. Here is what I need. I need you to do blank, rather than just spewing all your anger and your feelings and your upset and telling the person in detail every single thing that happened. You can very clearly just say, here's how this affected me. This is what I need. This is what I want. It allows the other person to answer specifically to what you've just brought up and to focus in on the problem. If you have trouble being assertive, I would really recommend that you spend some time working on this issue. Use the ideas presented in this video, and also you can go to my website and find lots of material that I have on helping you to deal with difficult people if you're dealing with a difficult person that makes being assertive even more difficult. Thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship.